Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, a major construction project continues at a busy intersection in Pulaski County. And Thankful Thursdays begin tomorrow in one county. How a duo vaccine clinic and food drive is helping the community.
A big-time fall front is headed our way, and it looks to bring our time in the 70s to an end. I'll have the latest run of Future View coming up right now at 5:30.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. A multi-million-dollar project to make improvements to a dangerous intersection is underway in one southern Kentucky county. The major project will cost nearly $50 million and give a completely new look to the 80 and 461 intersection in eastern Pulaski County. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on how the project came about.
Drivers headed to London from Somerset stay on the same road when going through the 461 intersection. But when a $50 million project is finished, the route of travel will be quite different.
You will then ramp off and then continue on to existing Highway 80.
80 heading east will flow seamlessly over a series of bridges and overpasses onto a new 4-lane 461, several miles to Buck Creek.
It's been in the plans and in the works for some time, and there's a federal build grant that they applied for and was awarded for this project back in 2019.
One reason for this project is safety. There have been numerous crashes, some deadly, at this intersection behind me. Another reason is because of the growing industrial landscape in this part of Pulaski County. It's not just what is happening now, but what is projected decades down the road that was included in the plans.
We also project down the line, what's the traffic probably going to be like, in 2045. And so we look down the line. We have planning engineers that, look ahead to the future.
The project should be done by June of 2023. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The new intersection is expected to tie in to the new northern bypass, which will connect the Hal Rogers and Cumberland Parkways. The hearing for an officer involved in the death of Breonna Taylor continues. Miles Cosgrove is fighting to get his job back. Today marked the second day of the Merit Board hearing for the former LMPD investigator. Interim Police Chief Yvette Gentry took the stand today, hitting on several key points, including that he broke basic new recruit policy and in each interview said he could not see or hear anything. An endangered child alert continues for a missing Kentucky 3-year-old. Amanda Ennis says she dropped her son Noah off with his father, Jacob Clare, in Gallatin, Tennessee Friday. On Saturday, she found out that Claire's 16-year-old niece had written letters saying she was running away, potentially with her uncle. Ennis has not been able to contact him since. She and Claire both live in Beaver Dam, Kentucky. A man is accused of shooting at Nicholasville police from inside his home. Officers say Eric Stork fired at them while they tried to come talk to him. They say he then ended up firing into his neighbor's home where 7 people were inside. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Stork is charged with wanton endangerment and criminal mischief. Authorities are working to identify human remains found in Wayne County. The coroner says they were found last night in a remote area off Highway 92 near the Oil Valley community. Officials say it's too early to tell if it is a man or a woman. The coroner also does not yet know the cause of death.
Well, we've seen plenty of sunshine as we've gone through the day today. Starting to see a few changes, though, begin to work in already out there on this Wednesday evening. Camera from the University of Virginia at Wise. A beautiful sunset in progress right now in Wise County. You see, as that sunset, we're starting to see a few of those high clouds move in, giving us a beautiful sunset out there right now. You can see even the colors from the other side of the sky from our camera here at WYMT out front. Not looking too bad out there. Temperatures remaining on the warm side. A lot of us, Somerset, London, over to Hazard, and even up to Jackson, still at 70 at this hour. A few upper 60s already working in, but we don't get too chilly tonight. Satellite and radar were dry, but you're already noticing some of those high clouds beginning to push in from the west, and as they do, We're going to see those low temperatures tonight hold steady, maybe even rise a little bit. So keep that WYMT weather app handy. As we go through tonight, we'll see temperatures drop while the sky is clear. But as we reintroduce showers to the forecast, that's when we're going to see a return to some milder weather and those clouds as well. I'll have the latest on when the rain looks to finally move in coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Madison County is hosting its inaugural Thankful Thursday event tomorrow. It's a dual event where you can get a COVID vaccination shot and donate food to God's Pantry. Chelsea Jones and photojournalist Darnell Crenshaw explain how this is a way to thank Madison County healthcare workers for all their efforts the past 20 months.
I'm always honored when we can come together and show our appreciation for how awesome our community is and to support all of our community members. And that really is what Thankful Thursday is all about.
At an 11 a.m. press conference, Madison County leaders announced their plan for the inaugural Thankful Thursday. The idea is simple. It's a mix of injection and collection.
A drive-through vaccination clinic opportunity and a food drive to benefit our local food pantries and food banks here in Madison County.
Community leaders wanted to say thank you to local healthcare workers for their efforts over the past 20 months. Healthcare professionals say getting vaccinated is thanks enough. Currently, the number of Madison County residents fully vaccinated sits at under 50%.
And we know we can do better than that in Madison County.
That's the injection. As far as the food collection,
in Madison County, that's almost 3,000 people that have food insecurities. So everything that we can do individually helps.
Where are we going to put your groceries? In the trunk?
this is God's Outreach Food Bank in Richmond. Thanksgiving is near, and this facility is in need of food drive items. For example, these empty racks were full of bread. Assistant Director of God's Outreach, Mandy A.G., say Thankful Thursday will help replenish.
We are really in need of food drive items. That has been down recently, and we're kind of down to our last items for that, so it's going to be a huge help.
Madison County officials hope receiving a shot and donating food at the same time will help everyone now and into the new year.
You have a good day now, okay?
In Richmond, Chelsea Jones, WKYT.
Thankful Thursday will be on November 18th from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. at the Armed Forces Reserve Center next to the main gate of the Bluegrass Army Depot in Richmond. Workers at the 3M plant in Harrison County protested a vaccine mandate today. Some workers are upset with the company's requirement to get vaccinated or be fired. 3M is a federal contractor, so its employees do not have an option to opt for weekly testing. The deadline for vaccination is January 4th.
We want to come back to work. We want to do our jobs. But the mandate of vaccine and tell us what we have to put in our body just so we can make some Post-it notes and Scotch tape, that's not right.
Last week, Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron sued the Biden administration over the vaccine mandate for federal contractors. Governor Andy Beshear says a digital customer service company will add 300 jobs in Montgomery and Mercer counties. It's part of a $500 investment to expand operations in Kentucky. The governor says Helpware will create 150 jobs at its new Harrodsburg office. It will also create another 150 positions in Mount Sterling, where it opened operations in 2020 and currently employs 25 people. A West Virginia program allows hunters to help feed people in need. The Hunters Helping the Hungry program is sponsored by the West Virginia Division of Natural Resources. The agency says the program processes deer that are donated. More than 1 million pounds of venison has been donated since the program started almost 30 years ago. You can find the number to help the program out, especially with deer hunting season approaching, on our website at WYMT.com. The Danube National Forest is waiving fees at its recreation sites in honor of Veterans Day. The agency said in a statement that the fee waiver on Thursday applies to all forest-operated recreation sites. There will be no fees for day-use areas, including boat ramps at Cave Run Lake and Laurel River Lake, as well as some shooting ranges, campgrounds, and trails. The day is free for everyone. Officials offer a special invitation for veterans and their families to visit those areas. A new shelter in Lexington is helping those who served our country. The Mother Teresa Veterans Shelter was dedicated to the city today. While the shelter was officially opened more than a month ago, it received its blessing from several religious leaders today. Before the shelter was used, veterans will be housed in individual homes. The director of the program, Jenny Ramsey, hopes this one roof can help build a sense of community.
They can develop this sense of moving from homelessness to having a home with all the surround services that are more readily available in one location like this.
The shelter fluctuates between 6 and 8 veterans living there, but Director Ramsey hopes it can house about 16 once the pandemic concludes. A library is honoring a World War II veteran from Lee County. Woodrow Booth, known as Woody, died earlier this year at the age of 99. Some of his belongings are now on display in Covington, where he spent part of his life. Staff say they're honored for a chance to teach others about his service.
We're losing World War II veterans daily. I think the more we can learn from them, gather their stories, collect their artifacts and photos, the more we can use that to understand how we got where we are today.
Booth's Purple Heart is one of the artifacts on display at the library. You can also see his uniform, which was too small for the library's smallest man.